Riley,
and PaulB.
Lassie.
I've seen things you psychopaths wouldn't believe. Attack pickups on file off the shoulder of Walgreens. I watched feds glitter in the dark near the Denny's gates. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. We are back in the Mercury Cougar. That's the Cougar, the famous Cougar. And Paul is just getting ready for some shut-eye on Christmas Day. Yeah, I guess he worked for a truck stop or a truck wash. And the guy gave him a job as like an act of charity and being nice to Paul. But Paul has taken it to mean the complete opposite. The guy was a slave driver and he ran his business horribly and was quite cruel to Paul, of course. Yeah, that was the story. And so Paul's giving it back to him here, saying like he likes to watch homeless people on camera or something like that. So here's a video of Paul sleeping. Just, yeah, endlessly passive aggressive this guy is. It's a long history of this dumb shit. But yeah, we are missing Paul. Paul is missing in action. He's gone quite a few days, nearly a week now, since we've last heard from him. I don't know really how much to take away from that, if there's much to take away from that at all. I'm just gonna look through upload dates. So we won't do the Ches Waza video, March 13, 2023. So I think this is before he gave up on the homeless consultant. So that channel was still going when he uploaded this, probably. So his first video, March 18th, 19th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 27th. Nice, 23rd. All right, so here's the gap. 23rd to the 30th of April. That's a few days. What is it, like 7 days? So there's a week between uploads. May 1st, 2nd, 4th, 6th. On we go. 9th, 10th, 12th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 18th, 20th, 21st, 23rd, 24th, 27th, 29th, 30th, 31st. 31st, there, a few days between 4th, 5th, 6th, 9th, 13th, again, a few days. 16th. Yeah, so June 17th, today is the 25th of May, probably the 24th for Americans. That was his last upload. So yeah, just under a week or a week. So yeah, it's alarm bells may not be ringing on this point, where he has had one pause between uploads, about a week-ish. This is about it being a week, maybe a week and change now between uploads. So a lot of people get a little bit carried away when someone doesn't upload, and then like will speculate endlessly if he's bit the dust. But there are a few things to point out in terms of the timeline of how Paul was doing financially and the condition of the Ford Fusion. So they're key to it all, really, because if he doesn't have the gas to turn the car over, which he does a lot, he uses a lot of the external lighting in the car, or internal lighting, I should say, and probably external lighting with the headlights to flash away stalkers and stuff. He doesn't run it around too much, but he'll probably move from car park to car park within a vicinity of maybe uh, 5 miles in the Brownsville area. So he was down to about $100 from last reports. I believe he's just going to let the storage, the Minnesota and the Californian storage roll over, and they will probably give him a month's grace between defaulting on his payments before probably seizing those lockers and probably auctioning them or clearing them out and just selling off the stuff. So I'm assuming he's given up on the storage lockers. They're all gone now because he owes like probably about $600 to $700 on both of them for the month alone. So as far as they are concerned, that's done. And if he has put about $100 of gas into the car, there's either he's going to take it out of state, which I think is doable. Minnesota isn't a massive state, but you could probably cross state lines. It depends on how arduous the journey will be into whatever, I'm thinking, national or state park he wants to get into to go into the wilderness. He will have to abandon the Ford Fusion. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Whether or not the car actually made it there is debatable. I don't think it's like roadworthy as it is, so it probably hasn't got very far. Alternatively, he could be still there. It's just that he's not. He can't turn the car on. He's probably dealing with a dead battery. And he's probably got no, they call it in America AAA, where you call in someone to basically switch the battery out and it'll be at a fee, or if you're a member with that insurance company, maybe there's no fee, but he was barely insured as it was. So that could be another scenario where he's just sitting in this car with a dead car and not moving. And he has to, I guess, trek all his equipment and gear, or maybe just that Ryobi battery charger. He needs to bring it across town or like across a few car parks to get it charged, which is going to be a big hassle for him. Another idea is that he's thrown his hat in and just said, okay, I'm going to go and seek help at a homeless shelter. He's going to have to go all in and just humble himself, which is going to be a big thing for him because he doesn't like the charities. He doesn't trust the churches, the local churches, because there's always some nefarious means going on. They're going to be meaner soda to him. They're going to be fake nice to him, which will drive him nuts. So there's a few things that could possibly be at play. His upload schedule isn't too erratic. There has been, week gaps. I know on the homeless consultant, he went months where he didn't upload. So there is a time, like there is a standard for this, and he's not deviating that much. But considering all his problems were mounting, and he knew they were coming, and he said so much that there could be a possibility that he's either done this trip out of state and he is currently, lost in the wilderness somewhere where animals are attacking him, and it's so diabolically savage his death. Like a bear has probably like taken him into its den and is eating him slowly. Other than that, I think what's happened is he's probably gone hat in hand mode. He's had to give up on the car. It may get towed and impounded at some point. I don't know how quickly these mall complexes act on abandoned cars. Whether or not he reappears in his new circumstances, like, I don't know what that would be. Um, in a group home, maybe in a group shelter. I can't possibly see Paul wanting to be in that around other, like, real deal Holyfield genuine homeless people. Like, it would really probably freak him out, and he'd hate every second of it. I don't know if he had any friends. It didn't seem like it in the area. He was estranged from everyone. Um, very rarely mentioned anyone in particular that could help him. Just acquaintances and people who pass from time to time. Okay, we are back on Google Maps, Minneapolis, Minnesota. All right, so let's see how far a Ford Fusion with a full tank. So that would be like maybe 13, 14 gallons, which is, I don't know what that is in liters, but it says that it'll give him a range of about 600 kilometers. I think that's maybe 500 odd miles. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. We are going to go at the old regular behind the Planet Fitness in Burnsville. So I have decided Wisconsin is going to be the state. So there's the state line there. Minneapolis just feeds into Wisconsin. All right, let's see. Wisconsin National Parks. What is a national park? National park. What is nearby? Oh, Lord. So you turn onto the forest trail here. What does that look like? Right. That looks roadworthy-ish. It will probably get a lot steeper, and then it'll probably become unsealed, and then you need like a four-wheel drive kind of capable car, which the Ford Fusion is definitely not. How far away is that? 150 miles, so that's doable on a full tank. You're going to go down 94. And then it's like a hefty, hefty drive. What is the terrain? I'm guessing it's mountainous. Yeah, that's pretty rugged. That's... I mean, these are the touristy spots, but I'm sure there's like paths and there's deer he can hunt if he was so inclined. Yeah, you could probably get off the beaten path, and I just don't know how far the Ford Fusion would get in a place like this before it's completely impassable. You'd either need to stop, park up, and call it a day, or get out and walk into the area. So that is like, this is just one scenario. There's probably another like state forest even closer. All right, this one looks a little bit more. Oh, it's no, it's still in Minnesota though. All right, so maybe what happens here is the state, yeah, it's the interstate. So I think what happens is you enter via the Minnesota side, and it's possible. No, you'd have to come up and go to Taylor's Falls and then whip in through one of these access roads here into no, that's all. Okay, so the state park is on the Minnesota side, so there's a river here. Okay, all right. Yeah, so the park continues into Wisconsin. So there is a pretty doable drive, not even on a full tank. If Paul is cautious as he drives, he can probably get in here. What does this area look like? Yeah, that's pretty rugged. Pretty pretty nice looking place. Yeah, that could be a spot that he actually could end up in without too much of a drive. The car will have some juice in it, so he can sit here for a little bit and have the engine running. Yeah, depends if he really gets in here somewhere. This looks like it's like it joins into some industrial, some sort of mining stripping area, some farming, but this is all pretty densely forested. So yeah, from Burnsville to out of state, he'll just have to come up from 95 onto the 8, clear the border here. So he'll jump from Minnesota to Wisconsin. So he can now officially come to an end. His story can come to an end in the Wisconsin part because, as you remember, he will not expire in Minnesota, no matter what. So he can get here into the interstate park on the Wisconsin side within an hour of where he usually is. And yeah, this could be the one area that he can reach pretty quickly and satisfy that need to not expire in Minnesota. Okay, just checking in on some news sites over the last, let's say 7 days. What's 7 days going to do for us? So 6 hours. Not first responder center focus on mental health. Paul needs to go there. Okay, looks interesting. Tuesday should have said they have a lot of. They don't have a lot of information about the second vehicle. We finally got hooked. Alright, these websites are like shit. Yeah, one dead. Not a lot of information there. Hulkster's in town. No, 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 no. Alright, that's really nothing. 30 days. Alright, this little boy was shot. Very sad. Alright, that's all not interesting. I won't look up obituaries. Obituaries. That is a little bit too morbid. There are probably better news aggregators out there for this local area, but I don't really know. Don't really care to know. Yeah, so nothing really coming up. There was someone who's being found in a car in a river somewhere. This gets all these rivers are overflowing at the moment. There's been a lot of rain in the area, so nothing to particularly report there. Nothing seeming to stick out there, but I might not be getting my news from the best aggregators here. Alright guys, that is going to be the video for today. I'm not really particularly concerned. He's obviously had a few breaks in the uploading cycle. There is a difference here where um, financially I think he's about tapped out for real. If we take him at his word, which is difficult. I don't know if he sold anything from the Minnesota storage. He went there and said his back was really sore and he couldn't really do much. He got a few things out, I think, but probably nothing that's going to keep him afloat for too long. Whether or not he uploads again, whether or not he's had to pawn off the camera and the laptop and all that, I kind of doubt it. I figure he will reappear at some point, but it might not be in the Ford Fusion. It might be in just some weird, group home setting where he's just like out in some little park behind it or something, ranting and raving and being very upset about his circumstances. So possibly he has a new channel out there hidden somewhere, because there's been a lot of eyeballs on him recently. I think for some reason YouTube really seemed to push him out to a lot of people who was like, why is this in my feed? Why am I being suggested this? So he's picked up a lot more viewers on this channel than he ever did on Homeless Consultant. Alright guys, I'm gonna probably keep making some old material, looking through some old stuff here and there. Yeah, we as I probably upload this and get it all together, he's probably put out a video. So this is all like for nothing. But anyway, there are people asking questions of it, whether or not I know personally of his circumstances, which I don't. I don't know. I think there was a guy in my comments quite recently who said he was in and around the area. I don't know if he had actually ever, excuse me, seen Paul before, but he said that's right by me and I could probably go down and check him out. So I don't know, maybe if you want to go look for the Ford Fusion, I don't know if he has that same license plate from the Cougar to the Fusion, the one that said MN kills or something, Minnesota kills. Alright guys, stay safe, stay in your cars, make sure it's fully fueled and maintained if you're in your car, and keep warm and keep out of the rain, and don't go into the wilderness to possibly expire yourself. Alright guys, till next time.